Hello everyone, I'm Carol from Practical Mystic, and today I thought I would do something completely different, but hopefully fun, entertaining, and enlightening. We are in the month of June. That is the halfway point for the year 2023. We know that 2023 is a universal number 7, which corresponds in the tarot to the major arcana card number 7, the Chariot. And the Chariot is all about self-control. And what I wanted to look at is the strength to perceive with determination where the next 6 months are going to take us. And I'm going to do it by first putting the Chariot, because we began, let's go into Aries, the first house. We began the year 2023 under the influence of the Chariot. Now, I do want to go ahead and add a little bit more information about the Chariot, because in the tarot, it corresponds to Cancer. And the sign Cancer is changeable. It is moody. It's also very protective and loving and connected to the home. And I think if we just step back a few minutes, we're going to see how all of us in 2023 have made some emotional changes within our personal life and as a collective with what is happening around us right now. So that Cancer energy, of course, is not doing well with fiery energy of Aries. Chiron is there, known as the wounded healer, and hopefully he's going to put a healing balm on all of this, but we're going to put the Chariot in the first house. I'm going to throw the dice, and whatever number comes up is where I will put the tarot card that I draw. I'm going to be looking at the next 6 months, so we will be drawing 6 cards. I will discuss the houses that the cards land in, and then look for any aspects and try to blend in the astrological and the tarot interpretation. We'll look at the numerology of the cards that come out, as well as the numerology significant for the number on the tarot, and see how that blends in with the number of the 12 houses. So let's move that, and let me shuffle the cards, and I am going to ask the tarot for the information for the collective for the next 6 months. Okay, and we're going to start and throw the dice to see where the first card, what house it will be. It's going to be in the 3rd house. This is the first house. Now this goes clockwise. I don't know why this was made that way, but in a regular astrological chart, we have Aries, Taurus going down, not up in the upper horizon. But anyway, so we're going to pick the first card and we're going to put it in the 3rd house. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The 3rd house is Gemini, where we already have some planets there. We have the Sun, the Moon, and Mercury. And the 3rd house is about short distance. It's travel. Chariot loves to travel. It's ready to go. We're also looking at information and communication when we are dealing with the 3rd house. And the natural ruler, as I said earlier, is Mercury. So let's see, it is the King of Cups landing in the 3rd house of travel and information. So for me, I'm going to interpret that King of Cups as someone with an authority. So for the collective, someone with authority, may have had authority, emotionally is not in the best communicative frame of mind, for sure, because it is reverse. And the third house also has to do with siblings. So it could be a family affair if I'm connecting it to Chariot with Cancer. But let's see how that all plays out as we go forward. We also know that the sun and moon, things may change quickly for this authority figure, this energy. Okay, let's see what the next card and what house it's going in. So we have 6 and 4. That's the 10th house. And the 10th house is, if we continue on, it is going to be Capricorn. We have Pluto already in Capricorn. Now, 10th house is matters of government and politics. How interesting when I said here we have an authority figure. The 10th house is also about responsibilities to others. It is an earth with Pluto there. There's been many, many changes. The card is the 9 of Pentacles reverse, and Capricorn and Earth here are doing very well, but that financially with Pluto there, we may have thought that we were quite happy with our prosperity and with our finances, and we were enjoying a little bit of luxuries. That seems to be changing for the collective with the 9 of Capricorn in the 10th house of the horoscope. The other thing that's interesting, and I do want to take into consideration, friends, is the numbers of the cards. So that number 9 in the tarot and in numerology is always about some kind of completion, but I take it one step forward. I don't like to use just that key word. I look at 9 as combining the experiences and the knowledge that I have accumulated through the interaction of everything. And it is a mental number. And the natural ruler, of course, for 9 is the planet Mars. All of it is in detriment here with what we are seeing. So some more financial changes for everyone, tightening our belts here. Okay, that's our second card. The 8th house is where we are going to be putting the next card, and it is the Knight of Wands. We have fire energy in a water house. Scorpio is the 8th house. Scorpio, I know people immediately say death and rebirth. What I also like to add to that is taxes, our debt, the psychological changes. It also has to do with joint financing. And of course, Mars is the ruling planet, the ancient. The new one is Pluto. And right now, if we look at where Pluto is, we have 30, 60, 90. 90 is going to be a square to Pluto and Mars here. So we have a square happening between money, the 9 of Pentacles, and here we have the Knight of Wands. I look at the Knights as bringing in information. And the Wands say it's going to happen very quickly, but you're going to be having a change that's going to affect you in some way, and you may have to redirect the way that you are going because of that 8th house influence with the quickness of Mars and how fast that can happen. All right, let's see what else we have, but we already have a square. 6, another, oh my goodness, another card in the 8th house of death and rebirth. Now again, we are at the 10 level when it comes to finances. So for the collective, there are issues with money. There are issues with how it's going to affect the family with money, your joint resources here. Death and rebirth at that 10 level with the pentacles. We also have to look at the physical body, what's happening there. This is a generational card. So I'm seeing also generational influences and changes with what is happening in politics for sure here. Okay, let's continue. 2, Taurus, 2nd house. And we have the 7 of Cups. Oh, and I say that because 7 is now going to add credence and energy to the 7th vibration that we are all under in the universal year. But the 2nd house is about acquiring resource, and it is about profits and losses. And it is ruled by Venus and the moon, and we have Uranus and Jupiter there. That 7 of Cups tells me that we've got to get our head out of the clouds, and we have to get grounded, and we have to be very aware of what is important for us to focus on, to put energy in, to grow. Cut our losses possibly, and then start again acquiring new ideas, new resources. But we have to get to work with, at the 7 of Cups, there is a neglect or an understanding. There's not a clarity of what is ahead of us, and people are guessing about maybe the economy or what is happening there with having the 7 of Cups in the 2nd house of Taurus. Taurus is all about solidifying, stabilizing, and so is Capricorn. That's where the energy is. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have one more card. We're doing 6 months. The last house is the 9th house. And how interesting is that? Because the 9th house is about higher consciousness, social, how we are socially. It is ruled by Sagittarius. It's knowledge, it's the profession. And we also know that Jupiter is at home here. In that 9th house, we now have the 2 of Swords. So the thinking, if we look at this Sagittarius here, we have Gemini and the King of Cups in opposition here with the 2 of Wands. I'm sorry, the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is all about clearly understanding our options. And when we do decide to make that decision, to realize that it's going to affect other people. The 2, if we're looking at the number from the numerology, is kind of affirming, and it's claiming, and it too is emotional in nature. The emotions are up here with the King of Cups and with the 7 of Cups. So the head and the heart have to work together. 2 is an emotional number. We have here 9. 9 is a mental number. We have the Knights We have the 10. It is a spiritual number. So here it's saying to spiritually think about what we have established, the family union, each generation, how that is going to affect it going forward, and to be conscious that there is some changes financially where we thought we were sitting pat isn't necessarily the case. We also know that we could have a trine with the energy of 120. So we got 30, 60, 90, 120. We don't have anything there. No. So looking at the aspects, it doesn't look that bad other than that opposition. So let's go ahead and see if we can recap what that energy is for the collective for the next 6 months. What I do see, friends, is that we need to get back to business to make sure that what we own, what we have for our homes, for others, is secure, and there is an adjustment that's going to take place. The Two of Swords being in that 9th house of knowledge and higher consciousness and the social, that I think that's also going to change. And I'm looking at the political system here. So there's a change in governing when a decision is made. Of course, we are going to be having a nominee here. So it may be a surprise to some people the changes that will occur. There's a lot of enthusiasm to get things done, but we also have to take away and realizing that sometimes we're not seeing clearly, or the information that we may be given isn't exactly correct. Has a lot to do here with family, hereditary, children, the home, the aging, and the security for everyone. So I'm wondering about Medicare, Social Security being a topic for the collective for the remainder of 2023. And social reform, I think we're going to also see some of that, because the Knight of Wands has to do with the spiritual aspects, and so does the 10 as a spiritual number, and the changes needed for social reform, for understanding, for acceptance. So all of that really seems to be shown in this tarot cards and in the houses, the professional houses, that a lot of them fell in, Sagittarius and Capricorn. They're also more with the collective than the personal houses. So I'm going to end it there. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today. I'd love to have your input, how you interpret these cards. And always, if you have any questions on this or the information that I've shared with you, please feel free to ask me in the comments section. Thanks, everyone. Blessings to all. Bye for now.